My boyfriend lost his memory in a car accident and forgot about me. In order to help him recover his memories, I endured everything and humbled myself, until I overheard him talking to someone else. I remembered a long time ago. I just wanted to see how much she really loves me. No rush. I chased her for so many years, might as well enjoy this a little longer. Later, I erased everyone's memory of me, leaving only his intact. Please, give Nicole back to me. I know I was wrong. Nicole? Who's that? There's never been anyone by that name. Chapter 1. Nicole. Alex drank too much. He keeps asking for you. Can you come pick him up? At 12:30 a.m., I received a call from one of my boyfriend's friends. The background noise on the other end was chaotic. Then I heard my boyfriend shouting loudly, "Where's Olivia? Why hasn't she come to pick me up yet?" It felt like a blow to the head. Olivia was the girl who had chased Alex for 4 years. The person he wanted to see was never me. His friend seemed to realize how awkward it sounded and cleared his throat. Well, you know, sis-in-law. Alex just hasn't remembered things yet. He's treating Olivia as if she were you. My fingers tightened around the phone as I cut him off. Send me the address. Swallowing the bitterness in my chest, I ordered a ride on my phone. The cold wind made me shiver. Early autumn nights weren't like summer anymore, and I had rushed out without grabbing a jacket. The bar where Alex and his friends were drinking wasn't close. By the time I arrived, 20 minutes later, the crowd had mostly dispersed. I scanned the messy private room. Alex was slumped in the center, and beside him stood a painfully familiar figure, Olivia. Olivia reached out to help Alex up, but he pulled her back into his arms instead. It was blinding. Sis-in-law, you're here. Someone patted my shoulder from behind. It was Cameron, Alex's friend, the one who had just called me. Oh, Nicole's here. Hearing the movement, the two entangled figures looked over. Olivia stood up unhurriedly. Good, you're here, she said calmly. Alex has been insisting on going home. She brushed aside a few loose strands of hair, a smile flickering in her eyes. Take him home. Nicole. Alex, however, looked displeased. He shot me a cold glance and tightened his grip on Olivia's hand. Why are you pushing me to some outsider? Didn't you just say you were here to pick me up? At his words, the smugness in Olivia's eyes deepened. Nicole, I'm sorry, but you know the situation. Right now, Alex can't do without me. I ignored Olivia's provocation and stared straight at Alex. He toyed lazily with Olivia's hair, the same absent-minded gesture he used to do to me. So who are you leaving with, Alex? I asked. Of course, with my girlfriend, Olivia. Let's go. Alex curled his lips into a smile, stood up, wrapped an arm around Olivia, and walked out. But I was the one who was his girlfriend, his rightful fiancée. As they disappeared from view, it felt as if a giant hand had clenched tightly around my heart. I let out a self-mocking laugh. Once, I had been proud and sharp-tongued. Now, because of Alex's amnesia, I had become this unbearably humble. I collapsed onto the sofa in the bar. Several unopened bottles of alcohol still sat on the table. I tipped one up and drank. If you already called Olivia, I muttered. Why bother calling me at all? Sis-in-law, don't be angry. I don't even know who went and called Olivia. It wasn't me. I'm on your side. Alex didn't mean it either. Once he gets his memory back, we'll definitely help you deal with him. Of course I knew. Alex had amnesia. He had forgotten me. Cameron kept trying to comfort me. I had heard these same words countless times since Alex lost his memory. Chapter 2. 2 months ago, Alex got into a car accident on the way to pick up our wedding photos and lost his memory. When I rushed to the hospital, I saw him at the ward entrance, fingers interlaced with another woman. Sis-in-law, you're here. Cameron looked at me, obvious embarrassment in his eyes. Under normal circumstances, if Alex so much as looked at another girl for a second too long, I would have made a scene. But right now, seeing his right hand wrapped in bandages, I couldn't care about anything else. Alex. I reached out instinctively, wanting to touch his cheek in distress, only for him to slap my hand away. Alex looked at me coldly. Lady, who are you? My girlfriend is right here. Why are you touching me? I froze, my hands suspended midair. Alex, This joke isn't funny, Nicole. Alex has amnesia. He mistook me for you. But don't worry. The doctor said it's temporary. He'll remember you. After all, he loves you so much. A woman's voice spoke beside me. Only then did I notice that the woman next to Alex was Olivia, the girl who had chased him for years. She spoke words of comfort, yet her hand was tightly clasped with Alex's. The way she called his name, Alex, stabbed at my ears. All these years, she had chased Alex relentlessly, just as Alex had once guarded me with the same persistence. In the past, Alex never allowed Olivia to call him that. But now, he held her hand firmly. What are you talking about? Olivia? You're my girlfriend, my wife. Lady, you're so annoying. Can you leave? I really don't know you. One Olivia, one lady, worlds apart. Just 2 hours earlier, he had sent me a cheerful voice message. Nicole, I'm going to pick up our wedding photos. Can't wait. We were supposed to be getting married soon. I played that voice message out loud. A flash of resentment crossed Olivia's face. But Alex looked utterly confused. No way. That's fake, right? You edited that. I stared straight into Alex's eyes and said word by word, whether you believe it or not, I'm your fiancé. You were the one who pursued me. Alex panicked. Don't spread rumors. Nicole, please stop stimulating Alex. Seeing the tension in the ward escalate, his close friend hurriedly stepped in to smooth things over. Well, sis, Nicole, let's go talk to the doctor first and understand his condition. My heart ached with grievance. But Alex was a patient. I couldn't argue with him. I wiped away the tears clinging to my lashes. Understanding the cause of his amnesia was the priority. As for settling things with Alex, once he remembered, I'd have all the time in the world. Chapter 3. A blood clot formed due to the impact to the head, which is compressing the nerves. He will forget some important things. It could be a few months, or it could last for years, but ultimately, it's temporary. I listened carefully from the side. At least it was only temporary. He had just temporarily forgotten me. Is there any way to help him recover faster? Cameron asked. Take the patient to recall past experiences more often. That can help speed up recovery. The two of us let out a breath of relief at the same time. Cameron comforted me. Sis-in-law, Alex cares about you too much. That's why things rebounded in the opposite direction. When he gets his memory back, we'll help you deal with him. I gave a bitter smile. Forgetting because someone is important, what kind of logic was that? When we returned to the ward, Olivia was slicing an apple she had already peeled, lifting a piece to Alex's mouth, suppressing the anger in my chest. I took the apple from Olivia's hand. He doesn't like apples. The apple was passed along into Alex's hand. He took a bite and smiled at Olivia. I like them now, telling myself to stay calm. I took a deep breath and turned to Olivia. Miss Olivia, please step outside. I have something to say to my fiancé. I deliberately stressed the word fiancé. Olivia's face turned a shade paler. I'm not the one who should leave. Olivia didn't say anything, but Alex snapped. He threw the half-eaten apple at me. The apple grazed my cheek. I froze. Back in college, if a guy accidentally tossed a paper ball at me, Alex would rush over in anger. I couldn't hold back anymore. I rushed forward and slapped Alex across the face. When I spoke again, my voice was choking. Now you're going to listen to me. Otherwise, I'll post online about you cheating with this little nurse. It doesn't matter if you don't remember. The facts will tell you the truth. Alex was stunned by the slap and actually stopped resisting. I shot a cold look at Olivia, who was watching the scene. His brain is injured and he doesn't remember. What about yours? Is it broken too? Or are you just eager to throw yourself into being the third party? Olivia ran out with reddened eyes. Alex glared at me resentfully, but after what I'd just done, he didn't dare to lash out. I directly picked up the phone he had left on the counter and unlocked it with ease. Photo after photo appeared before him. A flicker of confusion crossed Alex's eyes. So, we really are a couple? I nodded. More than that, we're getting engaged next month. Alex had chosen the date himself. It was the 5th anniversary of us being together. Hearing that, Alex frowned deeply, clearly trying to remember. After a long pause, he spoke in frustration. I'm sorry, I really don't remember. I honestly don't feel anything for you. Maybe we should cancel the engagement for now. After all, that wouldn't be fair to me. The word cancel came out of his mouth so easily. Have you ever felt that kind of helplessness? It was his fault. And yet, it wasn't. I took a deep breath and spoke bitterly. Then do you think it's fair to me? Alex. 3 months. During that time, I'll help you recover your memory. After that, if you still want to give up, I'll agree. Faced with my persistence, Alex grew irritated. Do whatever you want. Chapter 4. After Alex was discharged from the hospital, I suggested we go back to campus together. That was where our story had begun. The way we met was rather ridiculous. Back in high school, the school was extremely strict about cracking down on early romance. That day, I went to the school convenience store to buy water and happened to run into Alex from the class next door. It wouldn't be accurate to say we were unfamiliar. We were complete strangers. Yet 2 people who didn't even know each other were labeled as being in an early relationship just because we walked side by side on the way back. At the time, there was more than a meter between us. I pointed at the flag-raising platform and turned to Alex. Do you remember? This is where the principal made us read self-criticisms. Alex stared at the platform and fell into thought. Early romance has a serious negative impact on adolescent development. I hereby reflect on my mistakes. I should not have walked out of the convenience store at the same time as an unfamiliar classmate. I should have. I continued reciting the self-criticism I had written back then. Alex picked it up naturally. I should kneel, knock my head on the ground 3 times, and shout. This humble servant respectfully sees the young master off, and only after this unfamiliar male classmate walks 500 meters away may I stand up and return to class. After all, walking side by side with a man I don't know would be a disgrace to my virtue in the great Qing dynasty. He recited that infamous self-criticism, the one that had shocked the entire school, word for word. My eyes lit up. You remembered? Alex blinked at me. Of course I wouldn't forget. Hope flared in my chest. So, he remembered me? After all, he continued calmly. Those were all things Olivia said back then. He said he remembered every detail of the relationship. But in his memory, the girl's face was Olivia's. He hadn't forgotten. He had remembered the wrong person. There was still 1 month left before our agreed deadline. I sat alone in the private room, now reduced to ruins, completely lost. Should I keep going? Even if Alex was just suffering from amnesia, even if it wasn't intentional. I didn't know how I got home. At the entrance of my building, I actually saw Alex and Olivia. When Olivia saw me, she stiffly explained. He said he wanted to come back here, so I brought him. You should take him inside quickly. Her face looked awful. She shoved Alex into my arms and turned to leave. Nicole. A soft murmur reached my ears. I shook Alex gently. Alex. Had you remembered? I wanted to ask him, but he was too drunk to answer anything. Give him one more chance, I thought. I was a little drunk myself. I made quite a bit of noise fumbling with my keys and didn't hear that barely audible. I'm sorry. Chapter 5. When I woke up in the morning, Alex was sitting by the window, smoking. Seeing me awake, he smiled. I drank too much last night. I don't even know how I ended up here. Hope you don't mind. The words at the tip of my tongue were swallowed back. I wanted to ask if he had remembered me. Judging by his expression, he hadn't. This was your home to begin with. Before his amnesia, we had already been living together. We bought the apartment together. Alex nodded thoughtfully. No wonder the clothes in the wardrobe fit so well. Then he grinned mischievously and pointed at the pile of dirty clothes on the floor. Can you wash these for me? You've been saying you're my fiancé all this time. This shouldn't be a problem, right? Okay. Alex seemed to accept that he was my fiancé, but his behavior was exactly what a terrible husband would do. I want braised pork tonight. You know how to make it, right? He listed his demands one by one. I wanted to tell him that I didn't know how, that he used to be the one who cooked. I'll try my best to recover my memory. You'll support me unconditionally, won't you? I nodded and swallowed everything down. At least he was trying, wasn't he? Some accounts could wait to be settled later. I'm heading out. Be good. Alex reached out and ruffled my hair as if rewarding me. I stood in the entryway, staring blankly for a long time. then picked up my phone and started searching for how to make braised pork. That evening, dinner was ready. Alex kept his word and came home, but he also brought Olivia with him. Nicole, there's a problem with the apartment I rented again, so I'll stay here for a few days. The moment Olivia peeked her head out from behind Alex, I wanted to dump the braised pork straight onto her face. There's no room for you. Get out. I stared at the suitcase nearly as tall as a person. She clearly planned to stay long-term. I'm the one who asked Olivia to come. She just got back from abroad. Don't be so petty. Alex stood in front of Olivia, adopting a protector's stance. Let Olivia stay in the guest room. I'll move back to the master bedroom. Chapter 6. That meal ended unpleasantly after all. When I finished cleaning up the dishes, I discovered that Olivia was wearing my silk pajamas. When she saw me, not only did she show no embarrassment at being caught, she even leaned closer to me. Nicole, your pajamas are so pretty. I realized I forgot to bring sleepwear, so I borrowed yours. She called it borrowing, but from beginning to end, she never asked for my permission. Not this one. Change it. These pajamas were the first gift Alex ever bought me, back when he had just started working and saved up a whole month's salary for them. When Olivia didn't move, I grabbed her and dragged her toward the bedroom. Taking something without asking is stealing, and the owner has clearly refused. Didn't your mother teach you basic manners? A strong force shoved me aside. It was Alex. Nicole, what are you doing? I stared straight into his eyes and pointed at the clothes Olivia was wearing. I'm just asking her to change. She's not allowed to wear these. He turned to look at Olivia, frowning slightly. It's just a piece of clothing. If she wants to wear it, let her. Alex said it lightly. I wanted to explain that it was the first gift he ever gave me. Is that so? I don't remember. These are trivial things. Being more generous. I'll buy you a new one later. I had 1,000 things I wanted to say. But at that moment, I completely lost the desire to explain anything. Alex, let's just forget it. No matter whether you ever remember or not. I don't want you anymore. What did you say? Alex's expression darkened. A trace of panic flashed through his eyes. Nicole, didn't you say you loved me so much? Is this how you love me? As the atmosphere grew more and more strained, Olivia chuckled and cut in. Oh, if Nicole minds so much, then forget it. Alex, go out, I'll change. After closing the door, Olivia briskly took off my pajamas and put her own clothes back on. Nicole, why do you need to make yourself suffer like this? I glanced at her and didn't respond. You used to be the school tyrant back then, and now look at you, so humble. TSK. TSK. She wasn't wrong. In the past, I was the one who did whatever I pleased. Alex was always the one accommodating me. That was why I kept thinking, now that he had amnesia, I should tolerate him the way he once tolerated me. You're right. I was the tyrant. I picked up a pair of scissors and cut the pajamas Olivia had worn straight down the middle. So I don't want these clothes anymore, and I don't plan on wanting the person either. Here, take it. Since you like picking up other people's trash so much. Chapter 7. Olivia was startled by my actions. She stared blankly at the clothes in my hands, and a plan suddenly formed in her mind. She didn't take the clothes. Instead, she picked up the scissors I had tossed onto the bed. I've chased him for so many years, yet there was always only you in his eyes. You're the one who didn't cherish him, so when he lost his memory, it was heaven giving me a chance. He likes me now. You must be in agony, right? Her shameless logic made me laugh in anger. The version of you he likes exists only because his memory is scrambled. When he regains his memory, your ending will be even worse. Olivia wasn't very smart. For example, right now, struck by sudden happiness, she never stopped to think that this gift was only temporary. After a moment of daze, she raised the scissors. It's fine, as long as you two break up. I'll always have a chance. A bad feeling rose in my chest. The next second, Olivia sliced a cut across her own arm, then immediately shoved the scissors into my hand. Ah, Nicole, what are you doing? Bang, bang, bang. Hearing the commotion, Alex knocked on the door. Olivia? Nicole? What's going on? Alex, save me! The door burst open. Alex froze at the sight in front of him. Don't kill me. A figure rushed over and shoved me hard. Alex pulled Olivia into his arms. She pitifully held out her wounded arm for him to see. I was just trying to stop Nicole from cutting up that pajama set. And she actually. Alex noticed the shredded pajamas too. His pupils contracted sharply. Nicole, are you insane? Didn't you care so much about that outfit? And now you just cut it up? You've really disappointed me. With that, he scooped Olivia up in his arms. I'm taking you to the hospital to get this treated. The front door slammed loudly. I stood there in a daze, slowly raising my bleeding left hand. Alex had pushed me too hard just now. The scissors had cut me as well. The man who once forbade me from entering the kitchen because I nicked my finger while cooking had now hurt me for another woman. I didn't know how long passed before I numbly stood up and went to the hospital alone. After registering, I spotted Alex standing in the corridor, smoking. He seemed to be on the phone with someone. Olivia hurt her arm. I brought her here to get it bandaged. So annoying. This Olivia. Why was Alex's attitude toward Olivia so different before and after? I hid behind the door, inching closer without realizing it. Of course I love Nicole. I remembered everything a long time ago. I just wanted to see how much she loved me. No rush. I chased her for so many years, might as well enjoy this for a few more days. Alex's words struck like thunder, blowing my heart to pieces. So all my grievance and endurance were just because Alex wanted to enjoy watching me abase myself? I covered my mouth. The metallic smell of blood filled my nose. Alex had been lying to me all along. Chapter 8. At this moment, I was completely disappointed in Alex. At the same time, a long-forgotten voice echoed in my mind. PC 80274. Are you willing to accept the Time Administration Bureau's reemployment offer? I accept the reemployment, but before that, I need to do a few things. I was originally a subsystem of the Time Administration Bureau. After accompanying countless hosts through their transmigration missions, I finally earned the chance to retire. Systems are not supposed to have emotions. And yet, I had developed a deep interest in emotion. So after retirement, I chose to be reborn as a human. I had seen far too many hosts entangle themselves to the point of destruction with their targets. This time, it was my turn. Alex was still on the phone. He hadn't noticed me. After getting my wound treated, I returned home alone, sitting in the darkness. My tears finally broke free. I had thought that at the very least. Alex was different from those male leads. It turned out he was no exception. The door opened. Alex came back, alone. Olivia wasn't with him. Seeing me sitting on the couch in a daze, Alex took off his coat and walked over. Put this on, you'll catch a cold. I lifted my head numbly. Alex's eyes were beautiful. Even in the dark, they still glimmered. He grew a little uncomfortable under my gaze and turned his head away. I promised I'd try my best to remember the past, but you have to promise me not to lose your temper and hurt people again. At that moment, I felt that he was truly exhausted. Pretending to have amnesia was one thing. Having to comfort me while maintaining that lie was another. Alex. I called his name. My voice was hoarse. Alex turned back and saw tears streaming down my face. Alex. I'm so tired. I feel like I can't hold on anymore. His hands hovered awkwardly in the air. I knew he wanted to hug me, but was afraid of giving himself away. Just as he was about to drive himself mad with indecision, I reached out and grabbed his hand. What happened to your hand? He panicked, only then realizing that I was injured too. I didn't answer his question. I looked at him pleadingly and choked out my words. I know you haven't remembered yet. I don't blame you. But can you accompany me in completing one wedding? Just the two of us. At home is fine. By now, Alex's guilt had reached its peak. I knew he wouldn't refuse. Okay. Always decisive in action. 3 nights later, I walked toward him in a wedding dress. In his eyes, I saw pure amazement. Let's take a photo together, I said. So even if we don't have a future, it can remain my only keepsake. We stood on the balcony, using moonlight as our lamp, capturing that moment on my phone. This was the first time since his amnesia that he took my hand on his own. Nicole, I feel like I'm remembering more and more. Just wait for me. I'll definitely give you back the Alex you used to know. Is that so? But I no longer needed him. After taking off the heavy wedding dress, Alex was already asleep. My body grew light. Countless emotions were stripped away. I became a system once more. With my restored abilities, I erased all memories of Nicole from this world, except for Alex's. I found myself looking forward to what would come next. Chapter 9. When Alex woke up, there was no one beside him. Nicole? Nicole? No one answered. He searched the entire apartment and realized I wasn't home. He grabbed his phone and sent me a message. Did you go out? The glaring red exclamation mark on WeChat stabbed straight into Alex's eyes. What are you doing? What? Throwing another tantrum? He tried calling me, only to find the number had been disconnected. Alex tossed the phone aside and ran a hand through his hair in frustration. That was when he noticed every single piece of my clothing in the wardrobe was gone. As if struck by a thought, he picked up his phone again and called Cameron. Alex, it's early as hell. What's up? Did you tell Nicole about me pretending to have amnesia? I'm telling you, that was a bit much. Now my wife has run off. What am I supposed to do? Alex assumed I had found out about his lie and stormed out in anger. Bro, wait, what are you even talking about? Alex grew impatient. Nicole had a fight with me and ran away. She even canceled her number. Bro, who's Nicole? This time, Alex froze. Are you messing with me? Nicole, my fiancé, my wife. On the other end, Cameron was completely confused and asked hesitantly. Did you get into a fight with Olivia? Alex panicked. What Olivia? Nicole. Nicole. Bro, don't scare me. Damn it. Did that car accident mess up your brain? Should I get you a doctor? Alex swallowed his anger. I get it. Nicole put you up to this to scare me, right? Fine. This time I'm not going to look for her. Let's see how long she can keep this act up. With that, he hung up and threw himself angrily onto the bed. He thought this was nothing more than me throwing a tantrum, a prank I had pulled together with Cameron. If he had paid a little more attention, he would have noticed that it wasn't just my clothes that were gone. Everything related to me had disappeared, and the photo on the table, once of the two of us together, had quietly become a picture of him and Olivia. Honey, I'm back. The sound of the door opening came from outside. Alex sprang off the bed and crossed the room in a few strides. When he saw Olivia, he stumbled back 2 steps in shock. Olivia was holding a bag of steaming breakfast, looking at him in amusement. What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Alex really had been startled. He even stuttered. Why you? How did you get in? Olivia frowned and reached out to touch his forehead. What's wrong with you? Of course I walked in. What's going on with you? Before she could finish, Alex grabbed her wrist and dragged her toward the door. You need to leave. If Nicole comes back and sees you, she'll get mad again. Olivia shook his hand off and shrieked. Who's Nicole? Oh wow. Alex, you cheated and even brought another woman home? How could you do this to me? First Cameron, now Olivia. Everyone around him seemed possessed. Alex finally snapped. What the hell are you talking about? What do I have to do with you? Nicole is my fiancée, my wife. This apartment was bought by Nicole and me. Where did you steal the key from? What is wrong with all of you? Chapter 10. When Olivia slammed the evidence into Alex's face, he was completely stunned. Whether it was the property deed or the names printed on the wedding invitations, they all belonged to him and Olivia. That's impossible. Impossible. These are fake. All fake. Alex clutched the documents, his hands trembling. Tears streamed down Olivia's face. You're the one who said you liked me for so many years. You're the one who proposed to me. We're getting married next month. We even took wedding photos. And now you're pretending to have amnesia with me? The words wedding photos jolted Alex. He slapped his forehead. The wedding photos, right. The wedding photos. At last, he remembered the set of photos that had been left untouched at the studio for over 2 months. Hello, I'm here to pick up the wedding photos. Alex rushed into the studio in a panic, Olivia chasing after him breathlessly, startling the staff. Once the photos are out, all these boring pranks will be exposed. Tell Nicole she can throw tantrums all she wants, but pushing another woman toward me as a joke, this crosses the line. There's no kiss that can't calm me down. The more he spoke, the more worked up he became. Even now, he still believed this was just a prank I had planned with him. Sir, this is your photo album. Alex snatched it over and stared straight at Olivia. Look carefully. This is my wife, Nicole. He shoved the album toward Olivia's face. Like a victor exposing a lie. Olivia's expression darkened even further. Do you even hear what you're saying? She flipped the album around and held it up to Alex. Tell me, who's the person in these photos? Alex looked at her with an expression that clearly said, "Are you stupid?" and pointed at the picture. Are you blind? This is obviously Olivia? The confidence on his face froze. The album fell to the floor with a loud thud. Fake. All fake. You teamed up with the studio to lie to me, didn't you? Just wait. I don't believe you can buy off everyone. He tried to sound defiant, but panic was spreading inside him. He grabbed Olivia and stumbled out of the studio. I knew exactly where he was going. At that moment, I floated in the air, calmly watching as he hailed a taxi straight to our old campus. There wasn't the slightest ripple in my heart. Alex, you once said those memories were all yours with Olivia. Now, I'm giving them back to you. You're here to see the teacher again? Back then, Alex and I came so often that the security guard had become quite familiar with us. Desperate to find his former homeroom teacher and expose Olivia, Alex didn't even properly hear what the guard said. After a few perfunctory replies, he rushed straight into the teacher's office. Alex? What's the hurry? The teacher looked up and saw Alex panting. Her gaze fell on the two of them holding hands, and she smiled warmly. You two are still as close as ever. Only then did Alex realize, hurriedly shaking Olivia's hand loose. Teacher, don't misunderstand. My girlfriend is still Nicole. The teacher frowned, confused. Nicole, is that your new girlfriend? Chapter 11. Alex stood there frozen, his lips trembling uncontrollably. The homeroom teacher didn't notice the change in his expression and continued. Back then, all those stories between you and Olivia, laughing and crying together. Sigh. What a pity. Cold sweat broke out on Alex's temples. A terrible premonition rose in his chest. What stories? Olivia, who had remained silent all this time, finally spoke. Her voice was choked with emotion. The distance of over 1 meter outside the convenience store. Alex, what exactly are you playing at? Alex's expression was a spectacle. Back then, he had deliberately replaced our story with Olivia as the female lead. Now, it had all come true. As a spectator, I couldn't help but laugh. Alex, are you happy? After leaving the school, Alex finally forced himself to accept the fact that everyone had forgotten me, but he still refused to give up. I watched as he mobilized every connection he had, desperately trying to prove that I had once existed. Alex's mental state deteriorated rapidly, watching him spiral out of control every day. Olivia herself was on the verge of collapse. He drank with Cameron day after day, until Cameron finally snapped and grabbed him by the collar. Bro, can you stop losing your mind already? You've searched heaven and earth. There really is no such person as Nicole. She's just your delusion. Are you really going to throw everyone's lives into chaos for someone who doesn't exist? These past days, Cameron had listened to Alex recount his story with Nicole countless times. He couldn't understand it. The first half of the story was clearly about him and Olivia. So where did this Nicole suddenly come from? As for the latter half, Alex pretending to have amnesia just to prove that Nicole loved him, that was simply despicable. Alex was drunk. He shoved Cameron away clumsily, hugging the bottle. He muttered, "She's not fictional. You don't remember. None of you remember. But I remember." Alex searched everywhere he possibly could. Orphanages, editors I had once worked with. In the end, he even went to the police. There has never been such a child in our orphanage. The author of this book isn't named Nicole. I've met him. He's a man in his 30s. Sorry. There has never been such a person in our database. Are you sure she truly existed? I watched Alex stagger out of the police station, utterly lost. A wicked idea formed in my mind. Alex. I called him. He heard my voice and snapped his head up, shouting excitedly. Nicole, is that you? Alex shouted into the empty air. In the eyes of passers-by, he was nothing more than a mentally unstable madman. It's you, right? I knew it. They're all liars. You exist. You really exist. Tears welled up at the corners of his eyes. Save me. They've trapped me. You have to marry Olivia first. Then you can save me. Alex was already on the verge of collapse. Hearing this, he didn't even think twice. He agreed immediately. As long as you can come back. Forget marrying Olivia. I'd even marry Cameron. Chapter 12. From that day on, Alex completely changed. Not only did he agree to proceed with the wedding as planned, he even took the initiative to help with the preparations. Olivia, I'm sorry. I was under too much pressure these past days. I must have scared you. Alex booked the finest restaurant and, under Olivia's moved gaze, took out a ring. I should have prepared this long ago. It's not too late to make it up to you now, right? When he wanted to be, Alex could be the perfect lover. The ring slipped onto her finger. It seemed a little tight. Alex calmly explained. Things were rushed. I probably got the wrong size. Faced with the normal Alex again, Olivia no longer cared about such details and repeatedly said it was fine. Only I knew. That ring had been bought according to my size from the very beginning. Time flew by, and soon it was the day of their wedding. Guests arrived one after another. Alex grew increasingly excited. Nicole, I'm about to save you. The wedding proceeded smoothly. Bride, do you take this groom to be your husband? Whether in sickness or in health, poverty or wealth, beauty or loss, success or hardship, will you love him, comfort him, respect him, protect him, and remain faithful to him for the rest of your life? Olivia answered passionately. I do. Having received her answer, the priest turned to Alex and asked the same question. Alex did not respond. The priest repeated the question. Alex still did not respond. He was staring blankly at a corner of the venue, where the image of Nicole, conjured from illusion, stood. In his eyes, his Nicole had finally appeared. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Alex. Olivia's smile stiffened as she whispered a reminder. In the next second, Alex curled his lips into a smile. I don't. Chapter 13. The entire venue erupted into chaos. Ignoring Olivia's attempts to stop him, Alex stepped down from the stage and walked toward me. He held my hand affectionately. Nicole, you're finally back. Don't worry, I didn't swear before the priest. I didn't marry her. He didn't know that this image could only be seen by him. To everyone else, Alex was kneeling alone before empty air, talking to himself, terrifying to behold. The guests at that table recoiled in fear. What's wrong with him? There's never been anyone standing there. I heard the groom went insane. Turns out it's true. Alex paid no attention to the whispers around him. His eyes were fixed on me with deep devotion, waiting for my response. Nicole, why aren't you saying anything? I know, it's because of the ring, right? As if struck by sudden realization, he stood up and dragged Olivia down from the stage. Let go of me, Alex. Are you crazy? Ignoring her struggle, he pulled her in front of me. Nicole, the ring was bought for you in the first place. I'll give it back to you right now. With that, he forcefully tried to pull the ring off Olivia's finger. It hurts. The ring was too tight. No matter how hard Alex tugged, it wouldn't come off. Sweat poured down his face, and Olivia's expression twisted in pain. Give it back to Nicole. Alex stared at Olivia with chilling intensity. Alex, calm down. Let's go to the shop later and ask them to help take it off. Olivia tried to soothe him, but he wouldn't listen. On the table lay a small knife used for carving lamb. Alex noticed it. Ah. Alex held the blood-stained ring and carefully presented it to me. The wedding descended into complete chaos. Some people fled, others shouted for the police. Amid the turmoil, I merged into the image. Alex, why did you pretend to have amnesia? Hearing me respond, Alex broke into a delighted smile, but it faded the moment he heard my question. He panicked and grabbed my hand. No, at first, I really did lose my memory. Later. His voice trailed off. I withdrew my hand and finished his sentence for him. Later, you realized that pretending to have amnesia could earn my attention, that it could make me worry about you, take care of you. Alex lowered his head. I just felt like you didn't love me that much. He said that in the past. He was always the one accommodating me, that his whole world revolved around me. But I always had so many things to do. He was never my top priority. I found it almost amusing. Didn't you know what kind of person I was before you chose to be with me? You say I was busy, but I was busy earning money for our future. You chose to be with me. That means you loved the version of me who was like that. Alex gave a self-mocking laugh. I just wanted you to care about me a little more. So the way you made me care, I said, was by hurting me through another woman? I would never forget the way he protected Olivia. I couldn't understand if he had already remembered, if he truly loved me, how he could still act out intimacy and ambiguity with another woman. Did you really never feel anything? During the time you pretended to have amnesia, did you really never feel your heart move for Olivia? What Olivia gave Alex was exactly what he wanted. A love full of admiration, eyes filled with nothing but him. I didn't believe he felt nothing. Sure enough, his lips trembled, but he couldn't bring himself to refute it. Let's go home, Nicole. You can punish me however you want. I shook my head. Sirens wailed outside. Alex, your future may be in prison. It may be in a psychiatric hospital, but it will never be with me. Goodbye. With that, I withdrew from the image. Nicole's story truly dissipated at this moment. Nicole, Chapter 14. Host's Perspective. Many years later, I am a transmigrator who travels through worlds to complete missions. During one of my assignments, I arrived at a psychiatric hospital. There, I met an elderly man. When he saw me, he became visibly agitated, constantly muttering things like, "Nicole, is that you?" Aside from that, he didn't seem much different from a normal person. After spending more time with him, I learned that many years ago, he had loved a girl. It was just that he had been too willful and ended up losing her. A faint crackling sound echoed in my head, like static electricity. It seemed that every time I got close to this old man, the system would make that sound. System, what's wrong with you? After the static faded, the system finally spoke. Nothing. Stay away from that old man. He doesn't look like a good person. Oh, all right then. But somehow, I could hear something different in the system's electronic voice. It sounded like anger. It also sounded like regret. I vaguely remembered that my system seemed to have a name. What was it again? Forget it. I'm just an ordinary transmigrator. After all,